end doth draw nigh.
Did you have some kind of prophetic vision, man? What's going on?
Nah, it's just, we're getting close to finishing up the best class for race videos.
You're right. Let's do D&D Ravnica races, Simic Hybrid, and the Vedalken. Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and as usual, I'm joined by this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
Maybe it's your first time visiting Ted's basement. It's a place where we like to discuss news, views, and homebrews for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Sometimes we even talk about other role-playing games.
So if you don't want to miss a single video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to tune to that notification bell.
Alright, before we dive into the world of Ravnica, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for this video, Hero Forge. Now, you might have trouble finding the mini that you need for the weird critters and creatures that run around Ravnica, but Hero Forge has got you covered because you can make almost anything over there.
The way you can put together your races, the way you can put together that specific character mini, Hero Forge has got you covered. You got all the different ear options. You've got all the different ways that you can, position that guy. You can add all kinds of interesting and fun features, and doing so allows you to make things like the Simic Hybrid and the Vedalken that you might not be able to find a whole lot of minis for. So go check them out.
Now, the holidays are approaching rapidly, and maybe there's not enough time to actually order the mini and get the mini that you want for your friend or loved one or your family. But what you can do is send them a gift card.
The gift card is going to be super helpful because, you're going to be able to be like, here, go design the miniature of your dreams.
For the certain amount. Let them know how much you really think of them. But no, the gift card is an awesome option. If you don't know what they want, they can make it for themselves. Links in the description. All right, let's jump into what is the best character class for these Ravnica races.
So first we're going to start off with the Simic Hybrid, and they're going to get a +2 to Constitution, and then a +1 to a stat of their choice.
They also get Dark Vision, which, a lot of races get.
Their languages are going to get Common, and then they're going to get a choice of whether they want Elven or Vedalken.
Next up, they got some options, because they get animal enhancements. They get to pick one. They have the Manta Glide, which gives them a slow fall. They can take Nimble Climber, which is going to give them a climb speed, or they can have an Aquatic Adaptation, which is going to give them a swim speed and the ability to breathe underwater.
5th level, they're going to get some new animal adaptations. Those enhancements, you've got Grappling Appendage, you've got Carapace, and you've got Acid Spit. So, you're going to either grow tentacles out your side that are going to give you a strength-based attack for a die 6 damage and instantly be able to start a grapple. A Carapace is going to give you a +1 to your armor class when you're not wearing heavy armor. And then you're going to have an Acid Spit, which is going to do damage and scale like a cantrip. So
they're all pretty cool choices. From here, this is where we like to pick our expected character classes, what they're going to excel at. Now, they have a +2 to Con, which is pretty much useful to everybody in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a +1 they can put anywhere they want. So any of the character classes that only have one really prime stat requirement, they're going to excel at. You're going to, with that kind of flexibility, they don't really have an expected or a best because they're going to be kind of good at anything they want to do, with the exception of maybe the monk, which is kind of stat heavy.
So I will say that, if we had to lead something that this race is going to be really good at, expected wise, I would say Barbarian or Ranger. The Grappling Appendages, the Carapace, I think would be very useful for that Barbarian, that extra armor class. Or, I'm already strong, now I've got this grappling thing that I can do on occasion. I think that's a lot of fun. The exploratory aspects of them, getting a climb speed or a swim speed, is going to help out the Barbarian, but it's also really going to help out the Ranger as well with all of the exploration pillar that they do.
Those are awesome choices. I think they work. Unexpected, we kind of kicked around anything that doesn't have access to very good armor would benefit from the Carapace. And we also thought the Monk might be fun as well for an unexpected. The hit points are going to help. They can either have the high dex or the high wisdom. But we were kind of looking at that aquatic adaptation and the fact of them having a swim speed, which could be really useful. And then just the idea of them being able to breach the water like a dolphin, land on top of it, and just start running across it was kind of humorous to us. We're not sure it's a great choice, but we sure think it could be a funny choice.
So, I mean, you could go with a Carapace at 5th level, giving you that bonus to your armor class because you're not wearing any armor whatsoever, and going with the underwater adaptation, you could, especially once you get the ability to walk on water, you could totally do that fun, comic bit that Dave just mentioned. I think it'll be hysterical. Nobody suffers by getting more hit points, and that floating +1, made it really tough to pinpoint what is unexpected here.
So with that, we're going to move on to our next race. So up next is the Vedalken, and they get a bonus to intelligence and wisdom, and that's going to be a +2 in intelligence and +1 to wisdom.
They also have Vedalken Dispassion. That's going to give them advantage on all of your mental saves, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
They also get tireless precision. Basically, they get to choose one proficiency skill in Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine.
They got Performance, Sleight of Hand, and on top of that, they're also going to get a tool proficiency of choice.
But not only that, they also get to roll a d4 whenever they use that skill, giving them a little bit of almost like a mini guidance for that particular thing.
But because it doesn't say, it's also going to stack with guidance. So I think it'd be kind of cool to, have somebody that's just like, all right, I'm just really good when I do this.
And then that brings us to languages. They're going to speak Vedalken, Common, and then one of your choice.
So they have partially amphibious because of the way that their, skin is. They've got the ability to breathe water for up to an hour per day. Once they've reached that hour, they can't do so until they finish a long rest.
All right, now expected character classes. We get to add one that we have not been able to add until this point because this has not been an official character class.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make great artificers, clerics, druids, and wizards.
Yep. So, really doubling down on, that, intelligence and wisdom bonus. But where are we going for our unexpecteds?
For the unexpected, we thought they would actually make nice rangers, especially if you want to lean heavily on the wisdom because they get a bonus there. And then their other abilities could lend themselves really nicely to the exploration phase of the game.
Getting access to that skill and a tool, is going to be useful in a variety of ways. But being able to breathe, if you're playing a coastal game, or any water-based, an hour a day.
Swamp Ranger.
That hour a day really covers a lot of time, especially because it's like, you can tick round by round. That's a lot of rounds underwater if you're not like, oh, I'm just diving in the ocean,
So there are picks for the final races from Ravnica. What do you think? What are you playing? What combinations are you using? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Let us know in the comments below. Let me take a moment to invite you to join Nerdarchy, the adventuring party over on Patreon. What can I expect there, Ted?
We're creating products for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons that both players and DMs alike can drop right into their game.
That's not all. We do monthly giveaways, and our patrons are automatically entered.
We do weekly hangouts with our patrons and more.
So quest on down to the description. Join the Nerdarchy adventuring party. Until next time,
stay nerdy.